Hi guys, before I get into this video, I just want to say that this was a real pain in the bum to actually make this video because I had to do numerous takes because I've had numerous notifications on my phone and I had somebody trying to call me and with all that noise going out in the streets, it was like a real pain in the neck. So hopefully you enjoy this video. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is David, and if you're new here, hi, welcome. And if you have been watching my videos for a while now, welcome back. So today I will be doing the reading habits tag. This was, I was tagged to do this video by Eleanor. Eleanor is a Scottish booktuber. She is very good. She does book reviews, book hauls, TBRs, wrap-ups, and all types of videos. She likes reading fantasy, sci-fi, YA, all different types of genres. She's really good. I will link down her channel down in the description box down below, so please check out her channel. So without further ado, let's get into these questions, shall we? Question 1. Do you have a specific place at home for reading? So when I'm at home, I do the majority of my reading in my bedroom. I like to sit or lie down on my bed and do my reading, whether it's a physical book or whether it's a Kindle or an audio book. But I do like to, every now and then I do like to sit in the chair in the living room and do some of my reading there. It really depends on what mood I'm in. If I want to sit in the living room, I'll do that, but the majority of the time I will be in my room reading. If I'm listening to an audio book, sometimes I take it into the kitchen whenever I need to do like chores or stuff like that. But when I'm reading like either a physical book or an ebook, most of the time I'm always in my room. Question 2. Bookmarks or random pieces of paper? So for me, with this question, I tend to use both. I'm not really that fussy. When I started reading, I was using scrap bits of paper, and I still do. Like I'm reading a little biography of Tolkien, and I'm just using a little scrap bit of paper that I put in it. Just a random bit, just a random bit of scrap paper. But I try to use bookmarks now. I don't know why, I just prefer them rather than scrap bits of paper. And I've got a bunch of these from Amazon. They come in a little box and they have got little pictures of maps on them. As well as when I go out to tourist attractions, I tend to buy bookmarks. Like I've got this one up near in London. Ooh, if I can hold it up right. It's got a panoramic view of London. And yeah, but I'm not fussed. Either a bookmark or a random bit of paper or a travel card or anything that can tell me where I am at in the book. Question 3. Can you stop reading anywhere in the book? So I presume this question means that can I finish a book at a specific point at the end of the day? For example, when I'm actually reading one of my Stephen King books, I always read 25 pages a day. For anyone that's interested, I am reading Revival. So as I said, I read 25 pages of a Stephen King book every day, and when I do that, for example, I'm currently at page 75, so I know that today I will be at page 100, so that's where I stop. It's just so I know, it's just so I can keep track about where I am or how long it takes me to read a book. If I'm reading this and I have to go out somewhere, I will try to at least finish the page that I'm on, or failing that, finish up a specific section of the book, whether it's a Stephen King book or not, that I can visually see where I can, where I've actually left off and where I need to continue on reading. Hopefully that makes sense, guys. Question 4. Can you eat or drink while reading? So when I'm at home, I always have coffee with me while I read my book. It's just something that I enjoy drinking while I read a book. It's nothing better to me than having a black coffee while I sit on my bed reading my book, whether it's a physical copy or an ebook. But when it comes to eating at home while I read my book, that's something I really don't do. I usually like watch YouTube videos. Like for example, when I have my lunch, I usually watch YouTube videos while I eat. But when I'm out and about, like in a park, for example, I usually get like a sandwich and a drink, and I sit on a park bench while I read my book and I eat at the same time. That's something that I usually don't have a issue with, but I try not to have anything overly messy while I read my book. Something that's going to be easily something that's easily going to make a mess while I read my book. I usually try to avoid that whenever I can. But yeah, when I'm at home, strictly drinking coffee only, no eating while I read. But when I'm out and about, I'm usually a bit more lenient towards whether I eat or drink while I read. Question 5. Multitasking. Music or TV while reading? So when I'm reading, I never have the TV on or music in the background in my room while I'm reading. I want to focus purely on the book without any distractions. I mean, how can you read a book and watch a movie at the same time? I mean, if you can do that, then yeah, that's great. But I mean, when I'm reading, I mean, like for example, when I'm reading Revival, I want to focus purely on this and not something in the background. If I'm in my room and my family members have the TV on, and in a different room, usually I can read my book while my door in my room is open. But if it's a massive issue, I can just close it, and yeah. But usually it's not really a massive issue or a distraction for me. But when it comes to music and TV in my room, it's a big no-no. But if I'm out and about, I never listen to music, whether it's instrumental or vocal. That's something I don't do. So simply to that question, no, I don't listen to music and I don't watch TV while I'm reading. Question 6. One book at a time or several at once? So when I started reading in 2017, I was just reading one book at once, or one book at a time. It's only that was always a Stephen King book because that's who got me interested in reading. It's only a couple of years later that I wanted to read more different stuff, like different authors, different genres. So I decided to read 2 books at once. I'm always reading Stephen King. Whenever I finish one, I go straight on to the next one. And the second book that I read, which can be anything that I fancy. So right now I read 2 books at once. Question 7. Reading at home or everywhere? I read everywhere. I read at home, or if I'm going to work, I always bring my book with me in my work bag. I read on the train, although I can't read on the bus because now we've got to wear face masks. It fogs up my glasses. Always on the bus, so it's usually a pain to read when my glasses are fogged up on the bus. But when I'm on a train, I always read going to and from work. If it's a nice day and I'm working, I always like to go to the park before work and sit there and have lunch while I read. Or if it's a day off, I always go to the park anyway and read. So it's pretty much everywhere apart from buses. Question 8. Reading out loud or silently in your head? I always read silently in my head. I don't really feel that there's a need for me to sit on the train and read the whole book out to the carriage or to sit in my room reading out loud. If that's something that you got to do, then fair enough. But for me personally, I always read silently in my head. Question 9. Do you read ahead or skip pages? No, I never skip ahead or read ahead. Sometimes when I'm reading a book, I always like to skim to see how much of the chapter I've got left to read or how big the chapter is. The reason why I do this is because it's not that I'm bored with what I'm reading, it's just so it sets me a goal. Like if I'm at page 75, for example, and the chapter finishes at page 90, I can just say, right, that's my goal. That's where I've actually got to reach to. It's like a stepping stone, if that makes sense. Question 10. Break the spine or keep it like new? Now this was a very tricky question. I wasn't quite sure what they actually meant, because when I'm actually reading a book, obviously when you're reading a book, like normal, it's gonna crack the spine, or there's gonna be a little crease in the spine. I don't know whether that was what it meant, or whether you mean like you've got to like fold the book, fold it up, so it's like I never, if that's what it means, I know I never do that. But obviously when you're reading a book, normally the spine is going to be cracked at some point, like either once or several times. That really isn't really much of a problem or an issue for me, as I cannot read a copy of a book, a paperback, and read a book without at least one crack in the spine. So that kind of answers that question, but yeah, it doesn't really bother me at all. But I never really like fold the book up or like fold the pages over, or like do it like that. I never do it like that. Question 11. Do you write in your books? No, I don't write in my books. When I buy a book, whether it's a brand new book or a second-hand book, and it doesn't have any writing in it, that is special to me. I never write in my books. If I've got anything that I want to, if I want to make notes on a specific book, that if I'm actually going to be talking about a book on this channel, I usually just like write out notes on the notepads and read it out to you guys. It always makes me cry whenever I'm on public transport and I see someone writing in their book with a pen or a pencil or whatever. If you study literature and you're like reading a book, for example, and you want to make notes on it, just get yourself a little notepad. There's no need to write in the actual physical book, even though you may think at the time, oh, I'm never going to get rid of this book, I'm going to keep it forever, this is always going to be my book. Chances are you'll give it away to a charity shop anyway. I remember when I went to a charity shop just down my road, and there was a copy of the Lords of the Flies, and the whole thing was completely full with notes that someone had physically written inside the book. If I want to buy a book and it's got notes written in it, it's not really an issue or a problem for me or something that's going to bother me, because I haven't written it in the book myself. So I have no problem buying a book if it's got writing in it. It depends about what the writing is. If it's anything rude, then I won't buy it. But if it's just general notes on their opinions on it, then I might find it interesting. But when it comes to me personally writing in my books, no, I don't. So now I come to the section of this video where I've got to tag somebody, and I was thinking about all the possible people that I could tag for this, or the usual suspects. And instead of reading out a list of booktubers that I want to tag to do this video, I'm gonna leave it open. I'm gonna leave it up to you guys. If you want to do this video, you can just say that I tagged you. So I'm gonna leave it wide open. If you want to do this video, as I said, you can say that I tagged you. If you don't want to do it, that's perfectly fine. But it's up to you. I'm gonna leave it wide open. If you can do it, that's great. If you don't want to do it, that's also great. So I'm going to leave it up to you whether you want to do this video or not. So with all that said, guys, if you like this video, please give it a massive thumbs up down below. Comment down below as well. Let me know what you thought about this tag video and my responses to these questions. I've tried to do my best. And subscribe if you would like to my channel. I upload videos every Monday and Friday. If you do subscribe, please click on the little bell notification just so you know whenever I upload videos. So with all that said, guys, stay safe stay healthy, and keep reading, and I will see you in my next video.